Well, good evening, people, Steelers out there. Let me know if you can hear me. I've got a new setup going on here. I've moved things around and stuff, so I'm just. Hopefully, you can see me. You can hear me. You'll not be able to see me, but hopefully, you'll be able to see me. Tamsin's already in. Evening, as is John. Evening to you both. As John says, hit that button, like button, citizens. If you're watching, if you're liking it, of course. Who knows? Who knows you are. Tonight, folks, we are going to be playing. What a Drokker. This is my very quick version of the What a Cowboy rules changed over for Judge Dredd, of course. I've already done some messing about with the What a Nerf Herder, and I thought, you like the map? Good stuff. Come through. Okay, great stuff. It may go a little bit quiet because my microphone is only in one area, so hopefully it won't be too quiet for you, so you might have to turn your sounds up. So yeah, this is what a cowboy evening. It's off to the ISO cubes if you don't. Absolutely. Dave's in, David Johnson's in, old school FRP's in. Good to have you all on board. I'm probably not going to be able to read the chat too often tonight because obviously I'm going to be playing a game, so I do apologise here and now. If I see anything come up, I will I will be able to jump in. Old School says, Wax proving to be one of those remarkably adaptable rule sets. Yes, it is indeed. John has already written the modern versions for it, which is the one I've got, which is called Going Commando. And he's also done a 1920s gangster version for it as well. So I figured anything of this small scale with a little bit of jiggery pokery, I'm fairly sure you can do quite a lot with it. The good thing about this is there's very little changes. There's some bits of it have been smoothed out. You don't track ammo. The other thing what I've done in here is because the judges have got lawgivers, which have got several different types of ammunition, so armor piercing, high X, heat seeking, things like that. I'm not allowing them to use them because apart from their normal ammunition, because if you read the Wikipedias, it says they are only allowed to use certain things on certain ammo on certain things anyway. So like armor piercing against robots and high X when they're trying to get through doors and stuff. So because there's a lot of citizens about, they are being restricted to just using their normal ammunition in the. Don't worry about it, mate. Looking forward to it. I think about Strontium Dog as well. Yes, absolutely. It's so basically they're just going to be using their normal lawgivers. You've got more 1920s gangsters playing the Cowboys in the moment, so well it'll work. I think John's probably going to be putting some of these rules out maybe in the Lardy annual towards the end of the year, but don't quote me on that. So he's still kind of working on them. So basically I've got a couple of forces put together here. What I've got is you can see them on the smaller screen down here. We've got Judge Dredd and Judge Hershey. So Dredd is a legend. He's also got True Grit and Deadeye. He has 3 Bonanza tokens. He's also got the card A Golden Haired Angel Watches Over, which is played to reroll any set of dice. Hershey is a gunslinger. She's got True Grit. When you shoot, don't talk. Recover 2 action dice from your shock pool. Loving this idea, mate. Cheers, Ian. Could be used for Stronty Dog. Yeah, that's what Paul's just said. Yeah, it would work perfectly well for that. So they're the judges. They are currently on the trail of this gang over here, headed by Gunther Flack. This is the guy over here. He's ambidextrous. He's got 2 pistols. He is a gunslinger. He's, as I say, ambidextrous. He's got a couple of Bonanza tokens. He has the card. What has he got? When you hear a strange sound, drop to the ground. Improve a failed dodge roll by +1. And then we've got over here. This is Don Trumper. He's shootist. He is also lucky, which means he can re-roll any dice. He's also got a las pistol as well, which basically means the first shock is a wound. Oh, that was the thing. The lawgiver, because he's got basic ammunition, I'm using it as heavy, so it fires a little further than most pistols, and also the first wound is always going to be the first stun is always shock is always going to be a stun. These guys have also got 2 henchman groups, so we've got Street Punks 1 here and Street Punks 2 here. These are just pretty typical, so they'll be sticking close to their kind of leaders really, because they're relatively useless without them. So I've already got the game deck set up here. Hopefully, let's see if we can see that from these two cameras. Could it do with superheroes and supervillains? I think it could, with a bit of jiggery pokery. What tells me thinking? I'd be thinking along the same lines. What a Muti, what a Stronti. Yeah. All these things would work, really. Anything that's small. Right, so first card out then is the Four of Hearts, and that is the Street Punks 2. So that's these ones over here. So we'll roll for these. I'm going to say here and now, I'm going to forget things as we're playing. Side Judge Anderson would need to have a bunch of dodge-based cards. Yeah, well, she could have. You could do that quite easily with skills and things. James, evening all. Well, it's a bit different. Looks super fun like. So we'll just go with what we got. Right. So they've got a 1, 2 2s, a 3. So that's 1 is a move, 2 are spot, 3 is shoot. Is aim, and then 2 6s, which are wild dice. I can't remember the name of them in What's a Going Commando. It's slightly different. So if they're street punks and they're within 6 inches of a character, they can. A friendly character, they can change as many of their wild dice as they want. They are, so they can do. So I'm going to change those into move dice for them. So they're going to move and then move, and they're going to try to get behind this building over here, which will obviously block them from line of sight from you lot. So first move dice is 2d6. So 4 inches for these ones. So that gets them to about there. These are all the Warlord figures, by the way. The Warlord Jewish Dread figures. And then their 2 other move dice are going to be just a single dice each. So I'm rolling for both of those. Do you know what? I'm moving the wrong ones already. Let's start the game as we mean to go on, shall we? Same ones. These ones over here. They're going to come to this building. So in total we've got 7 inches. So that gets them just to the edge of this building over here. There you go. It was the punks number 2. I've got a little tag there so I know who's who. Right, so that's them done. There's nothing else they can do at all, really. That's sticky feed again, I'm afraid. It's probably because I've got two cameras running and quite a lot. I'm sure it'll pick up soon enough. What Mute is a good name. I think Johnny and the crew might be hitting the paint deck sooner rather than later. Good stuff. Right, okay, so next card out of our game deck. So 2 of Hearts. Okay, that is Don Trumper himself. So this is our shootist. This is the guy down at the bottom down here. I'll just show you where those other guys have got to. So Don Trumper. Now, he's with that group of fellas with a henchman and henchwomen. So I'm just going to I'll give him a roll. I'll just drop a dice. That's going to happen all night, I think. 1 second. So let's see what he gets. He's got a 6 and a 1, 2 5s, another 1, and a 3. Now, because he's a character and he's close to some henchmen or street punks in this, he can spend that 6 to get them to follow him. So he'll spend a move dice and that to get them to follow him. So he's actually going to spend 2 move dice to get them to follow him as well. So that's going to be, he's rolling 3 dice, and then they will move with him, and then they will also be able to activate as well in their turn. So that you can kind of drag henchmen along with you if you want to. So let's have a look. So that's double 6 and a 1. It's 13 inches. Unlucky for some. So that gets him to there, and then they can move to within 6 inches of him. Alongside, or he can drop them off as he moves as well. So he's going to bring them up to here. So it's kind of like strength in numbers basically. And as I say, they then will get an activation anyway. So they've got up to behind this building over here. Henge person. Yes, it's a henge person. He's only got 2 5s and a 4. Now in the Water Commando, normally it's a reload. A 4 is also a reload. In Going Commando, a 5 is a reload, and you'll probably see why later on. That's because you roll dice, you do automatic firing rather than just single shots. But because you're not tracking ammunition, it'll become clear later on when the shooting starts. Right, let's have a little look at who's up next. That is the two of spades. So that is Hershey. So she's over here, kicking about over here. Now she can actually, if she wants to, she can change some of her numbers about her dice. She can change one of them. Dredd can change two of them because he's a legend. Of course he is. He wouldn't be anything else, would he really? So let's see what she's got. Okay, lots of moves. So she's got 4 moves, 4 and a 5. So that's a shoot and lots of moves as well. Right, so what I'm going to do, I want to try to get her up around past these buildings, past these citizens over here, and then get her to probably start tackling these perps over here and bring them down. I think you see there's plenty of citizens around, so there's going to be some citizen manoeuvring at the end of the turn. Right, so I want her to move, but what I want to do is I want to kind of hold some of these dice back just in case she can change her dice. She's going to probably need a spot dice as well, so I'm going to use 3 move dice first of all, so that's going to be 4d6 in total. I'll roll them, and we've got 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 inches for Hershey. That actually gets her to that corner, which is good, which is what she wants. So that was 3 dice she's used up, and then she's got another 1, so she could do another move, and then maybe even a couple of shoots as well around that corner at those henchmen. So yes, I'm going to spend that 1 to see if she can get around this corner around here. So let's see how far she gets. 6 inches, she's done it. Well, I think she's done it anyway. Yes, I just want to get to this corner here, so she's in a bit of cover, and then she's going to bark orders. I mean, that could be, that can be a skill. Perhaps is shouting at people and just stopping them. So she can see them automatically because they're in the open, less than 12 inches away. So she's going to fire at them. Her lawgiver, let me just double check this. Lawgiver has got a range of 24 and maximum range of 24 with a 12-inch short range. And as I said, the first shock wound is actually a wound. So yeah, she's 8 inches away, and she's still got those 2 fire dice. So in this game, the way it works is that you can basically either fire individual rounds, and you can just keep firing them, but they are only 1 shot at a time, or you can fire automatic. And if you fire automatic, you roll 3 dice. However, if you roll more 1s than 6s, then something might have happened. You then become out of ammo. So if you roll one more 1 than 6, you're out of ammo, but all the hits are counted. You have to reload next with a 5. If you roll 2 more 1s than 6s, you're out of ammo and all hits are discounted, and you still have to reload with a 5. And then if you roll 3 1s, then you are completely jammed. Excuse me, and you have to unjam it with 5s. So it's a bit of a choice to make as a player what you want to do. Okay, so we're going to go with, I think she's going to pump some, she's going to put some fire down because she's still got that 5, so she can reload if she wants to. So we're going to use that a 4, and she's going to go auto on the creeps first of all. So let's have a look. So she's got 2 5s and a 6. She's close by. She doesn't get any pluses because of the lawgiver. She wasn't aiming, but she has hit with 2 5s and a 6. So that is 2 shocks and a wound. And because they're henge people, they take things differently to the characters. They don't take full wounds or anything. So as I say, the first shock is always going to be a wound because it's that lawgiver. So she's actually caused 2 wounds on them. So 2 wounds is so first of all for the shock, street punks, they take street punks number 2. Street punks 2 here, so they take a shock first of all, and then for those 2 wounds, the wound is you lose an action dice permanently and also an action and 1 to the shock pool. So they lose 2 to the shock pool, but they also lose 2 permanently. And every 2 dice that the henchmen lose, they lose a figure. So we're going to take one of these off. So they're already down. So that means when they fire, they can only fire up to a maximum of 2 shots now, because you can only fire up to a maximum of however many figures you have in your henchman group. So she's already cleared out one of the henchmen at least. So she's still got this 5. So she may as well go full auto once again and try again, hasn't she? Tell you, I forgot. Oh, henchmen don't dodge. It's the thing I always forget is dodging. Henchmen don't dodge unless they're behind cover, and these ones aren't. So I've not forgotten it. So she's firing again. So they need to get really behind cover, to be honest. This time she's got 2 6s and 2 3s. So that's another henchman taken down. And they have lost 2 action dice permanently. And another figure. Also, they are now out of action dice. So she's immediately just taken them out. So what they're going to do is they're going to run off the table. So she's already cleared them away. They are only worth 1 point when it comes to force morale on the ride or die number. So it's not such a bad thing, but it's already that's already a big shock, isn't it, on the on those guys? I wonder if it's worth interrupting, really. Maybe with Don Trumper over here, I'm not sure. Oh, sorry, with Gunther Flack, I'm not sure. Maybe he should interrupt, and then he could fire a Hershey before the end of her turn with a Bonanza. Okay. Right. Is it worthwhile? Yeah, he's going to interrupt. He's going to use a Bonanza token, and he's going to interrupt the end of Hershey's turn. So, punks or creeps, yes, indeed. So at the end of this, because he is a gunslinger, so he's got current action dice -2, so he's got 4 dice for his activation, for his Bonanza activation. So we see what he gets for his actions. So he's got a 1, a 3, and 2 5s. That is very useful. So he's got a move, an aim, and 2 5s. Is he over 12 inches away from her? Let's have a look. Because he might have to spot her. I don't think he is, though. I think he's going to be about... No, he's just on 12 inches. But he's got 2 pistols. Juves, yeah. He's got 2 pistols, and it's just an auto pistol. So it's got an 8-inch range, but 16 maximum. So it's going to be a -1 for shooting at her, because she's just over, unless he moves. So he's going to use his 1 to move forward to get into closer range. See how far he moves? 4 inches. That should then just bring him into 8 inches with her. Yes. So he's now in close range of her. So there's no -1s. Now he has got 2 guns because he's ambidextrous. He's got 2 pistols. So when he fires, it's going to cause 2 times the damage if he hits. So he's got 2 shots, or he could go auto with just one shot, or he could aim with 1 shot as well. Yeah, he's going to aim with the first shot. I think that's going to be the best thing to do. So he's going to use that. He's used his 1. He's going to use the 3 and the 5 to shoot with an aim. So it's going to be a +1 to hit her. Hit Hershey, that is. A 4 is a miss. Becomes a 5 though. So that is actually that's a shock for Hershey, unless she can dodge it. She dodges it on a 5 or a 6 because she's in the open. 2, no, she doesn't. So she takes a shock. So that's just 1 dice into her shock pool. Now he's still got another 5 left. So I think he's going to fire as well. He's going to fire full auto this time. So let's get that 5 out of the way and give her some. So these are just straight rolls. So it's 2 5s and a 4. So 2 5s are 2 shock. Does she dodge it though? 5 or a 6 she does. 1, no she doesn't, but she also stumbles as well because of that. So she actually becomes pinned anyway. And she takes 2 shock for those 2 shots. She's got true grit, so she can use a wild dice to get some of those back as well. Right, so that was his interruption against Hershey. So let's see what the next card is. Ace of Hearts. That's Gunther Flack himself again. Now it's his full turn. So let's roll his dice and see what he gets. I have found playing What a Cowboy. I've played quite a few games of it recently, and it has already. I find it goes only into maybe 2 or even 3 turns actually. There isn't many turns. Maybe that's because I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm quite slow with it or something like that. I don't know. Or I'm doing it too fast, or the tables are too open. Who knows? All right. So he's got a 1, a 3, which is an aim, 2 4s, which are shoots, 5, which is a shoot, and a 6, which is wild. So the 1 is a move. Now then, what do we think? What do we think we're gonna do? I don't really want him to move. Well, he can save that move till later on, so if he's dispatch Hershey or not. Let's see if he becomes a judge killer. Right, so he's going to aim and fire. So this time Hershey is not going to actually be able to dodge this, I don't think. Right. So first shot is going to be just using the 3 and a 5. I don't want to. No, I'm going to use the 3 and a 4 because a 5 is a reload because he might need that in case he jams up. So it's just going to be a 1 shot. Let's have a look. A 3 becomes a 4. 4 is no effect, so she doesn't do anything. I'll tell you what. Hershey is actually going to interrupt him now with her Bonanza. She's going to use one of her Bonanza tokens. She's got 2, so she's going to spend that, and she's going to interrupt. She is a gunslinger, so she has a current action dice -2. That only brings her down to 1. Well, she's declared it now, so it's only 1 dice. I just want her to move. She can change one of these as well into something else if she wants. A 6, that actually becomes a 1, so that does... all she can do is actually turn that into a 1 and just get rid of that shock on her. Sorry, not the shock, the pin. But that was Hershey recovering slightly from that. Don't know if that was a waste or not. We'll see. She'll not be able to use her Bonanza token for the rest of the turn now. Anyway, back to the action. So your man, he's still got that move. He's got a fire, another fire, and also that what's he got? The 6. So he's going to use that 4, another 4, and this time he's just going to fire auto. So he's going to fire 3 shots, and I think I forgot last time. I forgot that it should really double up, to be honest. But let's have a look, because he's using ambidextrous. Well, he's rolled 2 1s and a 3, so that is he's out of ammo, and all hits are discounted. He needs to reload with a 5. He has got a 5, so he's going to spend that 5 to reload. And then he's got a 1 and a 6. So I'm going to turn that 6 again back into a 4 to fire again and do it again fully auto. So he's got a 5 and a 1 and a 2. Again, he is out of ammo because he's got a 1. And he's got a 5 there, which has... What's that done for him? That's just become a stun on Hershey, unless she dodges it. She'll dodge on a 5 or a 6 because she can now, because she cleared her thing off, her pin. A 2. No, she hasn't dodged it, so that's another stun on Hershey. She really needs to get rid of these. And then he's got a 1 left over, but he is also out of ammo. So I'm just going to put an action dice into his ammo place, just so we know he's out of ammo, and then I'm going to get him to run away. So, you know, no one amongst thieves. He's going to get out of the way 4 inches. So he's going to come over here behind this hover car and get away from Hershey before she gets the jump on him. Running through ammo like it's water, indeed, yes. You see, superpowers just mean straight attacks, just like gunfire. Yes, I thought about that for the Jedi powers for what a nerf herder, basically like, you know, force push and stuff. But what I'd do is I'd have a certain amount of points that you build up like ammunition, and then you spend them on various force things. So like pushing somebody back might cost you 2 points, you know, and then you can build them up again with wild dice or something. Just a few ideas I was just throwing around in my head. Anyway, next card, it's the 3 of Hearts. 3 of Hearts is the punks, the street punks. Number 1 street punks, that's these ones over here behind this building. These are down here with this is Don Trumper. Do they want to do anything? Do I actually want to move them? If I move them away from him, they're out of his influence. And at the moment, they've already lost loads of their their fellas. So no, they don't want to move him at this point. I'm going to leave them where they are. So they're just going to forego their go. And the last one, obviously, is the Ace of Spades. So that is Dread over here. So Dread the Legend. Let's see what he does. See what dice he gets. So I'm going to probably try to bring him up behind this pearl. So we've got a 1, 2, 3 2s, a 3, and a 6 as well. Right, he's a legend, so he can actually change 2 of these dice to any numbers, to anything he wants as well. So he may as well turn those 2 2s into 2 1s, and then I'll give him 4 dice to roll for his moves. So that's what he's going to do, and I'm going to try to get him back round behind this building over here. So I'll just put those dice down so I know who he is. So he's using 4 dice. 2 dice for his first move, and then 1 dice for each of those moves after. So he's got a 6 and 2 1s and a 2, so that's 10 inch. So that actually gets him into line of sight of these punks over here. Hope you can see that on the mini camera. So is he over 12 inches? Because he'll need a spot dice if he does. Yes, he's over 12 inches, so he'll need a spot dice to spot one of the to spot. This is Don Trumper, isn't it, down here? Yeah, spot Don Trumper with his las pistol. And he's also got a 3 and a 6, so he can aim and then shoot as well with his lawgiver. So he's going to, of course. So that's 3 and a 1, and he's just doing 1 shot. So that gives him a +1. What is the range? By the way, 14 inches. Lawgiver has got a range of 12 inches. So it's a -1 to hit, but it'd be +1 because of his aim. So it's a straight roll. He's looking for a 6. A 1 is no effect because he wasn't firing auto. It means that he is still in ammo because he's checking his ammo. Right, so that ends turn 1. Let's see where we get to next. How many folks are out there? Hit that like button if you're enjoying this. Do people enjoy the live games? That's a question. Or do you prefer the painting chats? I never know what people like. These things usually pick up a bit of traction after the actual event. The last one I did was the Peter Pig PBI rules. And it's got quite a lot of views on it afterwards. Okay, anyway. Enough talking. Right, game deck. 3 of Hearts that's the Street Punks. So that's these guys over here, number 1. I'll put those away because once their card comes out, I should have taken their card out actually, but never mind. I can also take that signifier away as well. Right, so they're up against Dread now. So they only fire up to 24 inches because they've got various weapons, and they're not very good, and they can only aim if they're within 6 inches of one of their characters, a friendly character. Well, they are, so that's a good thing at least. So let's just see what their actual what they actually get. It might be a shootout down here, mightn't it? And also they can only change their thingy dice as well if they are if they're within. They can only change the wild dice if they're within 6 inches of a character. So they've got 2 6s, so they can change those. They've got a 1, 4, and 2 5s. They can only fire up to the number of people that are actually in their group as well. So there's only 3 of them. So they've got 3 fire dice there. So they can at least fire, if nothing else. And once again, if they roll more 1s and 6s during their firing, they are also either out of ammunition or not. Bo says both. The painting chats are good when you're painting, and the live games are good whilst chilling. Good stuff. Right, so 6s, so that's them also out of ammunition as well for the moment. So they're gonna have to. They're both gonna have to do something. Let's see what you're all saying. You like a bit of variety, including your opinion piece on Ago, Yugo, and JD and Coke. They both happen while I'm meant for to be working. Benefits from working at home still. Good stuff. I'm glad I can keep you company, John. There's no point in Dread interrupting that because that'll just be a waste of bonanza tokens. So I'm going to keep him as he is, and we'll see who's up next. It's Dread himself, Ace of Spades. Can he clear out this gang down here then? Let's have a look. Roll the dice. So he's got 3 4s, a 6, and 2 2s. So he doesn't really need those spotting dice. So what he's going to do is going to turn. He can turn 2 dice of what he likes into something else. So I'm going to turn those 2 into ones, and he's going to advance on these punks and then get in close, and then give them some umpty with those rounds. So two is 3 dice for his movement. That gives him a 5, 11 inches. Right, it's not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. So yeah, I just waited until the internet picked itself up again. Right, so he's going to be doing some firing. So I've got 3 shoots, and then I've got a 6, which I'm just going to hang on to see what happens after. So his first shot at this is at Don Trumper. It's going to be a, let's have a look. Just a normal dice. That's a 5. That is a hit, but it is a shock. And does he dodge it? A 3. No, he doesn't dodge it. So he's taken a shock. Then that was his first shot. I do apologise. I think the internet is not being a bit good tonight. So his second shot, same one. He's just shooting on the move. A 3 is a miss. Third shot for Dread. He's actually going to aim this one. Aim and shoot. So it's going to be a +1 to hit for this one. Oh, I said the first shock is a wound, didn't I? So yes, he actually wounded Don Trumper. So yes, that's the first one. So 4 with an aim is a 5, so that is a shock. So there we go. So he's caused 2 shock on Don Trumper and also 1 wound as well. Poor fella. Alright. So next up, Ace of Hearts. This is Gunther Flack, the one who was facing down Hershey. Let's see what he gets here. Well, he's got 3 1s and 2 2s. Which is not brilliant. He is a gunslinger, so he can change his one of these into something else if he wants. However, before he moves, Hershey is going to interrupt him with a Bonanza token. Her last one. No, she's not. What am I talking about? I must be mad. No, he's just going to move down here. Because she wouldn't actually be able to do anything if she did. So he's going to use his 3 move dice to try to get down the bottom end here to help these ones out. So that's going to be 4 dice worth of moves. And I need to put some coal on the internet, you're right. I don't know what's up with this. So 9, 10, 11, 12 inch. So that brings him just round here with these ones. So we're all together now. The gang's all here. And then he's got 2 spot dice, with which he can't really do a great deal. But he is a gunslinger, so he can change one of these into something. So I'm going to change it into a 4 for firing. And then he's going to shoot at Dread. And he is going to fire fully auto, so 3 dice. And well, let's just have a look. He's got a pistol, and he's 7 inches away from Dread with a pistol 8 inches, so he's close range. So it's going to be 3 dice. Yes, he does, but he also pins Dread. But because he's elite, as they're called in this, if he's within 4 inches of cover, he can duck into it. So he's going to duck into this cover here. So he's out of line of sight. So they need to spot him again now. But poor old Dread is currently out of. Is kind of hunkered down behind that building. Right. Okay. That was pretty good going for the punks. Who's up next? 2 of Hearts. This is Don Trumper. This is our lucky shootist. He's only got 3 dice in the moment because he got some hammer from Dread. So let's see what he gets. He's going to need to take some of these. He's going to use that 6, turn it into, get one of these dice from his shock pool back out. So he spent that, and now he's got a 3 and a 4. So the 3 is aim, a 4 is fire. Dread is behind that cover, so he can't actually do anything with those, and he can't change any of his dice around, this guy. So I'm going to leave it at that. Next one then. 2 of spades. That's Hershey. Right, Hershey has only got 2 dice. So what she needs to do is roll. What I'm going to do actually, I've remembered you got these cards. When you shoot, don't talk. Recover 2 action dice from your shock pool. So she's going to spend that and get 2 action dice straight back in before she does her actions. So that gives her 4 at least. And she's looking for 6 up here to recover more. Well, she's got a 1, a 2, a 2, and a 5. So that's a move, 2 spots, and a shoot. Well, I'll tell you what she's going to do. She's going to move from out of there and come round and try and get these in the rear if she can. She might not be able to spot them, but she might be able to, at least if she moves out, she might be able to spot them. Let's have a look. So 2d6, 4 inches. So that gets her to there. Can she spot? No, those are just behind that building. She is a gunslinger, so she can turn one of these dice into something else. So she's going to turn the spot dice, one of the spot dice, into another move dice, and then move another d6. See how far she gets with that. 4 inches again. So that brings her to there. Now she must be able to spot. Yes, she can. She can see Gunther Flack, and she's going to shoot him in the back. She's over 12 inch away, I think. Yes, she is. So she needs that spot dice. So she needs a 2. So she spent that, and then she's got a 5. She can either do a full auto or just fire with a 1. I think she's probably better off just firing with a 1 dice, isn't she? Oh, is she worthwhile going full auto? Nah, go full auto. Go big or go home, isn't it? She's over 8 inches away, so it's going to be... Oh no, she was... yeah, she's over 12 inches away. 2 1s and a 2, so she's out of ammo. So I'll just put an action dice in the ammo spot to remind me. Not that it ever does. Okay, so that's Hershey's go over. And then next up, 4 of hearts. That was the Street Punks, so that's gone. So turn 3. So basically we've got Dread hunkered down behind the cover. Meanwhile, Hershey is advancing on the punks from behind. Let's see what they all do. Right, first card this time is 2 of spades. So that is Hershey. She's currently out of ammo, so she's going to need to reload. She needs a 5 to reload. Well, she's got 1. She's got a 5, so I'm going to spend that straight away. And then she's got a 1, a 2, and a 3. So that's a move, a spot, and an aim. She could use that bonanza token to re-roll any dice as well if she wants to, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to move her down here, I think. So let's see how far she gets. 7 inches. That's all she's going to do this turn. She has got a bonanza token, so she can potentially do something in the future. Well, I've only got 5 of you watching now. Obviously not enjoying it so much, but the 5 of the best who are still around. Next card, 2 of hearts. That is Don Trumper. He's currently got 4 action dice. Let's see where they're at. So he's got a 6, which is going to get 1 of his shock dice back. So I'm going to spend that. And he's got a 1 and a 1 and a 3. Don Trumper is the guy with the last pistol. Well, I'm going to move him, and I'm going to make him run 3d6, and he's going to try to run across. No, I'm going to move him. I'm going to move him behind towards Hershey. Try and finish her off. So that's 8, 13 inches. Probably an internet issue, yeah, most likely. Let's have a look. So I just want to bring him over here, so he's facing Hershey now. More the connection, yeah, indeed. Right, so he can't do anything else. He can aim at her, and he can hold an aim over until the next turn as well, unless something happens. But he's gonna do that. So he is aiming at her. I'm not going to interrupt with Hershey, I don't think there. But no, let's see what the next card is. I see Ace of Spades. There you go. I was going to interrupt with Dread just then, but I decided against it at the last minute. But let's see what he gets. His cards, his dice. So he's got a 1, a 2, 2 threes, a 5 and a 6. So almost everything. So he's going to use that 1. He has to use the 1 to get rid of his pin status. So he's going to get rid of that. Then he can change 2 of these into something else if he wants. So does he come out blasting? I think he does. Evening, James. So he's going to. I think he's going to turn. He doesn't need to spot because he's within 12 inches. So I'm going to turn that into a move dice, and then get him moved up out of the cover, and then start wasting these punks up here. So let's have a look. 8 inch. I don't want it to go into fisticuffs because there's no point. I just want it on the edge of there. And then he's going to take a shot at Gunther over here with his 2 guns. So we got a 1. I've used that up. So he's got 2 threes, which are 2 aims, and he's got a 5 and a 6. So I'm going to use one of the aims just to do a single shot. So it's going to be a +1. Plus once again, it's the lawgiver, and because it's a lawgiver, it's the first shock becomes a wound. So it's +1 to hit. 4 becomes a 5, so that is a shock. Does he dodge it? Let's have a look. 5 or 6 he does. No, he doesn't. So it's a shock, but that becomes a wound. So that has taken out a shock and an actual dice out as well for Gunther. So that was the first shot, and then he's going to turn that 3, use that 3, and then the 4, and do the same again. So once again, +1 to hit. A 2 becomes a 3, so no effect. So that was Dread's shot. Right, who's up next? 3 of Hearts. That's the Street Punks. So let's see what they're up to. They're probably going to try and blast Dread away if they can. So they've got a 1, which is a move, 2, which is a spot, 2 4s and a 5. So that's 3 shots. So that's enough for them to shoot. Because they, as I said before, they can only shoot as many people. They can only shoot with as many people in their group. So yeah, James, it's Jewish Dread. What a cowboy. So first one. I thought you saw my post on Twitter earlier. Anyway, the first one is they're just shooting normally. They're not using any aims at Dread. No pluses or anything, so it's just a straight roll. So look, 6. So that is a wound on Dread. Has he dodged it though? 5 or 6 he does. No, he doesn't. So that's a wound on Dread. So a shock and a wound for him. Ooh, they're taking a hammering, these judges, aren't they? So one, second shot. Another wound on Dread. Does he dodge this one? A 5 or a 6 that he does? No, he doesn't. So that's another hit and a shock on Dread. God, they're cop killers, aren't they, these? And then final shot is a 3. So no effect that time, so he doesn't need to dodge it. But God, he took 2 wounds there, Dread. The bigger they are, the harder they come, right? How do, Simon? You've not played a Games Workshop since Dread? Yeah, I used to play that to death. I loved it. Great game. Right, we're on last card then. Is the Ace of Hearts, and that's Gunther Flack with his 4 action dice. So he's got 1, 2, 3 and a 5. Let's see what it is. Where is he? That's this fella here. So with that, you can spot Dread, so he can aim and shoot at him. So he's going to. And I would have interrupted with Dread there, but I think Dread can use some of those Bonanza tokens to recover actually. So let me just, I want to double check that. There is a way of recovering using those Bonanza tokens, which is always good, I think. Because if he does, let's have a look. Bonanza token. Oh, there's a lot of writing. There's all these little nice things you can do with them, which just really help out at the right time. Don't know if we got any Bonanzas. There we go. Yeah, you can gamble with them. That's it. You gamble. You can play any time to re-roll any hand of dice that your character's played. That's it. You can also re-roll any hand of dice, or move 1d6 to remove action dice from your shock pool and restore them to the character's hand. And you basically 1 or a 2. 1 is removed from the shock pool. 3, 4. 2 is, and then 5, 6. So yeah, Dread's going to do that. He's going to. Oh, Slaughter Margin, classic stuff. Yeah, I've got it. I've got a copy of that. He's going to use one of his Bonanza tokens. You can use them anytime you want. So he's going to use that. And he is then going to try to recover some of his shock. So he's got a couple of shock. So let's have a look. 1, he recovers 1 shock. So then he can't use another Bonanza token now. That's it. He can only use it once in the... No, I think you can only interrupt once in a turn. Don't know how many times you can use the Bonanza tokens per turn. Evening, Jim. Yes, you made it. So they're going to fire at Dread anyway. Let's get back to the actual game. That was Dread trying to do what he was trying to do. So they've got a 1, a 2, a 3, and a 5. He's going to shoot. He's going to aim and shoot at Dread. So it's going to be a +1, and he's ambidextrous. There's 2 pistols. 5 becomes a 6. Does Dread dodge it? 5 or a 6? No, he doesn't. But he actually stumbles and takes a pin anyway. So he is wounded. So he takes a wound and a shock. Oh dear. Dread's going down. So that's all Gunther's going to do. That was the last one of this turn. Evening, Dex. You regret selling your original GW unis? Yeah, I used to have those the old GW stuff as well. The race, tons of them. Right. Anyway, that's the end of that turn. Now, one thing I'd forgotten is I've got to check the citizens that are close by. So they may do something, or they may run away. So we've got 1 here. If it's a 1, they're frozen in fear. 2 to 5 runs. They run. 6, they attack somebody. So there's 2 of them here. So we'll test for them. For the first guy here with a helmet on him, roll his dice. He's a 4, so he just runs 4d6, 2d6 in a random direction. Got the random direction thing here. See which way he goes first. He goes to 1, so he might run off the table. Yeah, he runs off the table this way. The other guy over here, see what he does. A 1. He is frozen in fear, I think. No, he's a have-a-go hero. Roll 1d6, inflicting a shock on a 5 or a 6. So he's going to attack your man here behind him. So I'll put it on you. So that's Don Trumper. So he's going to attack him. So our points 5 or a 6. 1, no effect, but he does run away. He runs away 11 inches. 2, 4. 11 inches this way. So he kicked him and ran away, but to no effect. So that ends that turn. You've got the laser burn ones. Made Jewish Dread army. Yeah, I saw somebody at Partisan had got 15mm Jewish Dread stuff, I think. I'm sure it was, and it must have been the old laser burn stuff. Anyway, 3 of hearts. It's our punks. A gang of punks. So let's go. We've got one, two twos, a 3 and a 4. Dear, that's not great for them. They could use an aim, so they're going to aim at Dread and fire at him. He's already pinned, so he can't actually dodge this. Let's have a look. 3 becomes a 4. No effect. They're just going to stay where they are, I think. So that's all they're doing. Ain't doing much else. So our next card, it's the ace. This is Gunther. So he's over here. Oh no, he's here firing at Dread. Can he get rid of Dread? Let's have a look. He's got a 1, 2 5s and a 6. So he's got a move, 2 shoots, and also a whatever he wants. Right, he's going to go full auto on Dread, because why wouldn't you really at this point? What are we on about? The Ape Gang. Yeah, classic. Right, I wonder if anybody does any 3D prints. I'm sure they probably do somewhere. So he's firing at Dread. Just normal rolls. 2 6s though, and a 2. So that's 2 wounds unless Dread can dodge. Let's have a look. That is a 1. No, he hasn't. Well, he can't dodge anyway because he's pinned. So he takes 2 wounds. So that has taken Dread out, because that was removes his wound, and that's knocked him out. He's got more wounds than shock, so he's actually wounded. So I'm going to lay Dread down there. No, that's not supposed to happen. That's Dread out. So we're going to have to do a ride or die test for Anderson afterwards at the end of this turn, because they've lost some force morale now. I can't believe the forces of law and order have got hammered. But he's still got. He fired one shot, didn't he? So I'm going to spin him round with the 1. He's going to turn around because you can only fire 180. He's actually going to use that 60, bring one of his shock dice out, and then he's got a 5, and he's going to fire at Hershey with that last 5. So it's just going to be a normal shot. Check the range. Judge dead, indeed. Very poor indeed. Auto pistol, 8 inches. She's just in 8 inches of him. And he's going to go full auto on Hershey. Judge killer. Let's have a look. So we got a 6, a 5 and a 4. So that's a wound and a shock and a nothing. Let's see if she dodges. A 1. No, she doesn't, but that automatically pins her anyway, because she's failed it. She's stumbled. So a wound. So she's taken 2 shock and another wound. She's now down to 1 action die. She loses 1 more. It's game over. Game over for everybody. And next card up then is Hershey herself. She's only got 1 dice. She has got a bonanza token. Right, she's going to roll this dice, see what happens. 5. She needs to get rid of that the pin token first of all, so she will do. She'll turn that 5 into a 1. So at least she's got rid of her pin token. And then she's going to spend a bonanza token to try to get some of those dice from her shock pool back into her hand. So it's basically a D3. She gets 3 dice back into her action dice. So, but that's all she can do. And Ace of Spades, that's Dread, so I'll get rid of that. And the next one is 2 of Hearts. So that's Don Trumper. Wounded Don Trumper. Can he finish Hershey off before the end of the turn? Let's have a look. 2 1s, a 3, and 2 5s. So that's 2 shootings, moving, and a aiming. He's going to aim with the first shot and then shoot. So it's a +1. +1 to hit with his las gun, and it's a las pistol. I kept forgetting. The first shot is actually a wound. So let's have a look. Sorry, the first shock is a wound. 2 becomes a 3, so that's a miss. So his second one, he's got a 5, so he's going to use that to blast at her again. This time he's going full auto, so it's just normal rolls. He's rolled a 1, so he's actually out of ammo, but he has stunned her as well, so that takes 1 action unless she can dodge it. Always forget the dodges. 6, yes, she's dodged it, and because she can move up to 4 inch behind cover, so she's going to jump behind that vehicle, hunker down, so they need another spot dice to spot her. He is now out of ammo, so I'll just put that to one side there to remind me. That ends the turn. Great map for JD. Who makes that? It's in the Warlord Jewish Dread starter set, Ralph. It is a good map. It's double-sided as well, but I only ever really use this side. This side's the better side. The other one's a bit more industrial. But yes, it's the starter set's quite expensive, but you know, as it comes with a few figures, but you get this map. But I don't think I pay much attention to the actual rules. This is a far better version of it already. Anyway, that's the end of that term. So now we've got to check the ride or die numbers. So far, their force morale for the punks is -1 because of they've lost those guys. But they currently have, we'll work it out. The gunslinger is worth 3, shootist is worth 2, and then to start with they had 2 henchmen, so that was 7. We half that, round it down, so 3. They're on 1 against 3, so they're okay. Table's great. Cheers, James. You've got some of the card battle system, TIE Fighter terrain. I wonder if it would work well for inside a blog. Yeah, it probably would. I've got the old Jewish Dread block floor plans from Games Workshop as well kicking about. I think the judges could do with Spikes Harvey Rotten to deal with the punks, absolutely. Yeah, the fatties are great. And that'll be why then. And calling the city deaf, yeah, definitely. But Dread is worth 4 points on his own. Anderson is worth 3, so 7. We half that again, so it's so their force morale was 3. Dread, we've lost Dread, so that takes it down to down by 4, so that brings them down to 3. Anderson has got 1 shock. If she had 1 more shock, that would be another -1. So she's holding on. If she had more shock, she'd be holding on. She'd have to do a ride or die test. So we're going to go into turn 4. I'll give these cards a shuffle. And first up, 2 of hearts. I doubt very much she's going to survive this turn. So Don is currently out of ammo. Let's see what he got. He's got 2 1s, which are 2 moves, a 2, a spot, a 3, which is an aim, and a 6. So he's going to turn that 6 into a 5 to reload. So he's fully reloaded. And then he's got those 2 moves. Don is over here though. Well, he needs a spot dice to spot to spot Hershey. So he's going to use that 2 to spot her. So he has done, and I think he's going to run across to this over here. To be honest, I think it's a good idea. Use those 2 move dice. Turn that into 3 moving. So that's 10, 13 inch. Yep, he's going to run across to here and get behind this cover so he can see her. And then he's got an aim dice, so he's going to aim at her at least. Bring in Walter the Warbot. Not the hero we need, though. A hero we deserve. Absolutely. And Maria. Maria and Walter. Right, so next card up. It's the Ace of Hearts. So this is Gunther Flack. So once again, he's going to need to spot Hershey. But he's got loads of... He's got 2 6s, 2 5s, and a 4. So that's good for him, isn't it? Right, so he's going to turn 1 of those 6s into a 2 to spot her behind that cover. So I'll put that to one side. Then he's just going to blaze away. So first up, he's going to use a 4 because those 5s are good for reloading just in case. So it's going to be 3 shots. He's just firing at normal range, isn't he? I think he's got a pistol, hasn't he? Let me just check the range on this guy. Auto pistol, 8 inch. No, she just has. So I'm going to turn that 6 into a 1 first of all. So he's going to move closer, advance on her, 5 inch. He's going to get to there. So now he's within 8 inches of her. So now he's going to blast away. So using that first 4 he's got. So he's got 6 and a 4, he gets no action, no other actions. 6 is a wound, 4 is nothing, and a 2 is nothing as well. Does she dodge it? She's behind cover now. No, she can't dodge it because she is pinned. So she's taken yet another wound. So that's a wound and a pin and a shock, sorry. So she's down to 2 action dice with 2 shock. So she will be on a ride or die test at the end of this turn. His second shot is another 5. So he's doing the same again. Brapping away. Brap, brap, brap. So this time it's a 3, 5, and a 3, 4, 5. 5 is a shock. So that takes her down again. And then he's got his last 5, and he's going to spend that again on firing at her once more. This time it's 2 1s and a 2. So he is out of ammo. And also, if there were any of these that would have hit, then they wouldn't have affected her anyway. So he's actually out of ammo. So he's done quite a lot, not loads. She's almost out. Almost out. Let's see whose turn it is next, though. Well, it's Hershey's anyway, but she does only have the 1 action dice, so she needs a 6 or a 1 to be able to get rid of that pin. She's got a 2. She's a gunslinger. She can change that into any dice she wants, so she'll turn it into a 1 to get rid of the pin. So at least when the next storm of shells comes at her, she can at least try to dodge it. So that's her turn. And then finally, it's the street punks. These are currently out of ammo. So let's see what they get. So 5, they can spend that, so that puts them back, gives them some ammo back. Then they've got 3 5s, a 1 and a 2. So they are also going to move, and then they're going to have to spot her as well behind that vehicle. So they're just going to move 2d6, bring her around that corner, 4 inches. That's enough. So that gets them to here, around this corner, and then they've got 5 shots. So they're also going to blast away at her. They only take 1 shot each. So for the first one then, and again, if they roll more 1s and 6s in this case, then it's going to be they're going to be jammed or out of ammo. So first shot is a 3. Sorry, I should be showing that. So no effect. Second shot is a 6. Is a wound, unless she dodges it. She dodges it because she's behind cover on a 4 up. 5, yes, she's dodged it, but that's pinned her again. She's taking some hammer. So they also now need to spot her again, and they haven't got the dice to do it, unfortunately, because they can't change any of the dice, so they can't actually do anything with the rest of that. So that does end their turn, and it does actually end the turn as well. So we're over here with the turn. So we've let's just double check where we're at. The punks haven't lost anybody, so they're still on their normal force morale of only -1, so they're way above their 3 break point. Meanwhile, Hershey, she's lost dread, and she's also got 3 shock. So he is worth 4. The 2 shock is worth another 1, so that makes it 5. So she started with 7, so we take 5 off it. That is 2. That is actually less than her ride or die number, which is a 3. So we roll dice for her, and I think as a gunslinger she rolls 3 dice. If she gets a 6, she sticks around. If she doesn't, she runs. She hasn't got it. She's got a 2, a 4 and a 5. So she's called in a pat wagon to come and extract her from this situation. I don't know what kind of judge she is to be not facing up to these punks. But there you go, that ends it. That ends the game. It's a judge loss. So Hershey picks herself up and runs off. She'll probably jump onto her Lawmaster and disappear off the table. There you go, folks. Look at that, an hour. So that was the initial try of What a Drokker. I think I need to have a look at the Judge's Dread weapons and things in a little bit more detail for other bits and pieces, because this was just an incredibly basic ones. But what I could do is go through the role-playing game, because I've already got all the weapons in there, and just try and work them out from a What a Cowboy stance, or at least going commando stance. So, well, I enjoyed that. I hope everybody else did. I thought it was fun, something a bit different. Let me know what you think in the comments. But what I'll do is I'll leave it at that for tonight. I'm not sure when I'll play my next full game, but I might do a proper version of this as well, a proper video of it. I mean, this is a proper video. You were all here. That's the main thing, isn't it? Nice game. Cheers. Again, cheers. What's the blocker coming? Extensions coming? I'm not sure when I can get some blockers. It was a fun little game. Cheers, everyone. Stay safe. It was fun. Looking forward to more. There will be more, I'm sure. I might record a couple more of this. I'm still working my way through the Water Cowboy campaign at the moment. I've got 2 more of those to finish off before I do anything else. All right, folks. I will say, as I say, I'll say good night now, and thanks again for watching. And cheers for joining us, and I'll see you in the next Storm and Steel live, whenever that is.